The desperate call setting. The Kren homeworld, a peaceful garden planet facing invasion. The story opens with Elder Nix standing in the communication center of their dying world. The Kren are a gentle, fragile species who have lived in peace for thousands of years. Their planet is lush and safe with no predators or natural disasters. They evolved as herbivores who solve conflicts through careful discussion and patience. Now, the warlike Vex Empire approaches their world with massive warships. The Vex are known across the galaxy as brutal conquerors who enslave peaceful species. The Kren have no weapons, no military, and no idea how to fight. Elder Nix activates their most powerful transmitter and sends out a plea across the stars. To any civilized species who receive this message, we are the Kren of the third planet of the Kepler system. We face extinction from invaders. We offer all our knowledge of art, music, and peaceful sciences to anyone who can help us. We have no weapons and do not know war. Please, if there is mercy in the galaxy, help us. The message travels through space while the Kren prepare for the worst. They hide their children and elderly in underground shelters, knowing they cannot fight but hoping someone will answer their call. Days pass. The Vex fleet draws closer. Then, a response comes from an unknown sector, brief and strange. Message. Received. Help is coming. Stay alive. Terra Defense Force. The Kren have never heard of Terra or this defense force. Elder Nix wonders what kind of beings they are, imagining perhaps another peaceful species with advanced shields or diplomatic skills to negotiate with the Vex. The part ends with the Kren watching their skies, hoping their rescuers arrive before the Vex do, completely unaware that they've just called for help from the galaxy's most feared death world. First contact protocol setting. Deep space, approaching the Kren system captain. Roy leads a small but deadly human fleet toward the Kren system. His ships are old and battle-scarred, crewed by soldiers who fought in dozens of conflicts across human space. Unlike the massive, gleaming vessels other species prefer, human ships are built for war. Fast, tough, and loaded with weapons. The crew reviews what little they know about the Kren. Intelligence Officer Lisa reports that the Kren appear to be a peaceful species with no military records in any galactic database. The Vex Empire, however, is well known. A collection of warrior species that conquers through brute force. Standard Vex tactics, Roy explains to his officers. They pick on peaceful worlds, enslave the population, strip the resources. They avoid anything that might fight back. The humans prepare their approach. Unlike other species who might try negotiation or formal protocols, the human plan is simple and direct. They'll assess the threat, engage the enemy, and eliminate it with maximum efficiency. Meanwhile, the Vex commander Warlord Kez receives reports of approaching ships. His scouts describe vessels unlike anything in their databases, smaller than expected, but moving with unusual speed and confidence. The Vex assume these newcomers are another weak species trying to play hero. Probably traders or explorers, Kez tells his officers. We'll crush them quickly and continue with our harvest of the Kren world. The human fleet enters the system and immediately begins tactical scans. What they see makes them grimly satisfied, a classic bullying scenario. Large, slow Vex ships surrounding a defenseless planet, preparing for bombardment. Roy opens communication channels to both the Kren and the Vex. To the Kren, his message is brief but reassuring. Kren leadership. This is Captain Roy of the Terra Defense Force. We received your distress call. Stay in your shelters. We'll handle this. To the Vex, his message is much different. Vex fleet, this is the Terra Defense Force. You are ordered to withdraw from this system immediately. You have one chance to leave peacefully. The Kren are confused by the strange accent and military terminology. The Vex are amused by what they see as a tiny, primitive fleet making demands. Warlord Kez responds with typical Vex arrogance. Unknown vessels, you will surrender or be destroyed. This world belongs to the Vex Empire now. The part ends with Captain Roy giving a cold smile that his crew knows well. All ships' combat positions, remember, they had their chance. The humans prepare to show the galaxy why peaceful species whisper warnings about the death world called Terra. Death world tactics setting. Space battle above the Kren homeworld. The battle begins, and immediately the Vex realize they've made a terrible mistake. The human ships move like nothing they've ever seen, fast, unpredictable, and absolutely ruthless. While Vex tactics rely on overwhelming firepower and intimidation, humans fight like the apex predators they are. Captain Roy's ships split up, using the Vex fleet's size against them. They dart between the larger vessels, targeting weapon systems and engines with surgical precision. On the Kren world below, Elder Nyx and his people watch the battle in amazement and terror. The newcomers fight with a savage efficiency that both saves them and frightens them. These Terra Defense Force beings don't negotiate or hesitate. They simply kill with devastating effectiveness. The humans employ tactics that seem impossible to the Vex. Lieutenant Tom pilots his fighter into the docking bay of a Vex destroyer, then detonates explosives that tear the ship apart from within. Commander Kate uses her ship's gravity well to slingshot around a Vex cruiser, raking its unshielded belly with railgun fire. Warlord Kez begins to panic as his superior fleet crumbles. "What are these creatures?" he demands. "They fight like demons." His tactical officer has pulled up what little data exists on humans. "Sir, they come from a Class 12 death world. Extreme gravity, violent weather, apex predators everywhere. They evolved as persistence hunters." "Death worlders," Kez whispers. The term sends chills through every species in the galaxy. Most intelligent life comes from safe, stable worlds. Only the most vicious and adaptable creatures could evolve on a death world and reach the stars. The battle turns into a rout. Human boarding parties storm Vex ships, moving through the corridors like the pack hunters they once were. The Vex warriors, bred for strength and intimidation, find themselves outmaneuvered by smaller, faster humans who seem to predict their every move. Captain Roy's voice cuts through the comm channels. "Vex fleet, this is your final warning. Surrender. Now or be destroyed." The few remaining Vex ships begin to flee. Warlord Kez, his flagship crippled, sends a desperate message to Vex command. "Do not engage the humans. Repeat, avoid human space at all costs. They are true death worlders." On the Kren world, the people emerge from their shelters to see the burning wreckage of the Vex fleet scattered across their sky. Their saviors have won a complete victory in less than an hour. But now they face a new question. What do you say to the galaxy's most dangerous predators when they've just saved your life? Understanding the hunter setting. The Kren homeworld surface, first meeting between species. Captain Roy lands on the Kren world with a small diplomatic team. The humans emerge from their shuttle wearing simple uniforms, their weapons holstered, but visible. To the Kren, they look strange. Bipedal like themselves, but built differently with forward-facing eyes and predator's grace. Elder Nyx approaches with traditional Kren gifts, beautiful crystals that sing in harmonic tones, representing their peaceful culture. He's prepared the formal greeting used for all civilized species, full of flowery language about harmony and mutual understanding. Roy accepts the gifts politely, but his response is typically human, direct and practical. "Thank you. Are your people safe? Do you need medical assistance, food supplies?" The Kren are taken aback by this blunt approach. Where they expected elaborate ceremony, they get efficient concern for their welfare. Nyx realizes these humans don't follow normal diplomatic protocols. As the two groups talk, cultural differences become apparent. The Kren speak in careful, indirect ways, taking time to consider every word. Humans are direct, sometimes finishing each other's sentences, always focused on practical solutions. Young Kren scientist Vel asks the question everyone wants answered. "Why did you help us? What do you want in return?" Roy's answer shocks them. "Because you asked for help and needed it, that's enough." The concept of helping strangers without immediate benefit puzzles the Kren. In galactic civilization, species trade favors and maintain careful balances. The idea of humans traveling across space just to fight someone else's war seems impossible. Medical officer Dr. Ann examines injured Kren with human efficiency. Her treatment's effective, but her bedside manner confusing. She doesn't spend time on comforting words. She just heals people and moves on to the next patient. The Kren begin to understand that humans are fundamentally different. They ask about Earth, and the humans describe their homeworld casually. The violent storms, dangerous animals, natural disasters that would terrify most species. How do you survive such a place? Vel asks. We adapt, Roy says simply. We survive by being stronger, faster, and smarter than whatever wants to kill us. The Kren realize their rescuers aren't just warriors. They're the products of a world that made them into perfect survivors. Every human instinct, from their pack loyalty to their tactical thinking, comes from millions of years of evolution on a planet trying to kill them. But they also see something unexpected. The humans are genuinely kind. They share their food, help repair damage from the battle, and play games with Kren children who aren't afraid of them. Elder Nix begins to understand. Humans are dangerous, not because they're evil, but because they had to become dangerous to survive. Their violence is a tool, not their nature. The part ends with Roy preparing to leave. The Kren offer to share their art and music, their greatest treasures. Roy accepts gratefully, then makes an offer in return. If anyone threatens you again, call us, we'll come. It's a promise that sends ripples across the galaxy. The Deathworlders have just claimed their first protectorate, the new Galactic Order, 770 words. Setting: various locations across the galaxy. 6 months later, news of the Kren rescue spreads through galactic civilization like wildfire. The story grows with each telling. Peaceful species whisper about the humans who appeared from nowhere to destroy a Vex fleet in minutes. On the galactic trade station Nexus Prime, alien diplomats gather to discuss this new development. Ambassador Quinn of the Peaceful Coalition voices everyone's concerns. These humans have disrupted the balance. The Vex Empire controlled through fear, but at least we understood their rules. The Vex themselves have become pariahs, other aggressive. Species no longer respect them after their humiliating defeat. Warlord Kez, now demoted and disgraced, spreads warnings throughout the warrior castes. Never engage humans directly. They are not like us. They are evolved killers. Meanwhile, on the Kren homeworld, life has changed dramatically. Their SOS signal continues to broadcast, but now it's different. Instead of a desperate plea, it's become something else. A beacon for other peaceful species facing threats. The calls come regularly now. The Veltar, a species of aquatic artists, report raiders threatening their ocean cities. The peaceful moth people of Sigma Draconis face slavers. Each time the message is similar. We heard about the Kren. Can you help us too? Captain Roy, now promoted to Admiral, oversees humanity's first official protectorate fleet. The military leadership back on Earth debates the implications. Some worry about overextension, but Roy argues for a different view. We're not conquering territory. We're making the galaxy safer for everyone. The human approach spreads beyond military intervention. Human traders arrive in peaceful systems, offering not just protection, but partnership. Unlike the exploitative relationships most species expect, humans offer fair deals and reliable contracts. Dr. Ann has established the first human medical stations in several systems, treating species that other galactic powers ignored. Her practical approach saves lives efficiently, though her bedside manner still confuses patients who expect more ceremony. Back on Earth, the response is mixed. Some humans embrace their role as galactic protectors, seeing it as humanity's natural evolution. Others worry about the responsibility and the enemies they're making. The Kren have become humanity's first true alien allies. Vel, now their chief science officer, works with human engineers to develop new technologies that combine human practicality with Kren artistry. Their crystalline computers, grown rather than built, revolutionize human data storage. The galactic political landscape shifts around this new reality. Aggressive species avoid systems under human protection, while peaceful civilizations actively seek it. A new phrase enters galactic languages: Terra protected. Elder Nix, now ancient, reflects on how their desperate SOS changed everything. The Kren expected to be saved by another peaceful species offering wisdom and diplomacy. Instead, they got humanity, creatures who saved them through violence but stayed to build friendship. The story concludes with a new SOS signal being detected by human listening posts. This time it comes from the far edge of the galaxy, from a species called the Builders facing extermination by something called the Swarm. Admiral Roy reads the message and smiles the same cold smile his crew knows well. All ships, prepare for hyperspace jump. Looks like someone else needs our help. As the human fleet jumps into hyperspace heading toward another desperate battle, the narrator reflects on the irony. The galaxy's most peaceful species sent out a call for help, and they got exactly what they needed. Not what they expected, but what they needed. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same.